Good evening. Thank you for
Yaxşı.
making yourself available to the tribunal. Can you hear us? And if so, please be sure that you tell us the truth in your evidence.
Bayanatınızı bu sotqa tapşırğanlığınızdan intayın minnətdarmız. Bizdinki mening gepimni yaxshi anglay oldingizmi? Anandan keyin eng muhim narsa yaxshi anglay olgan bo'lsangiz, faqat bir narsa talab qilamiz sizdan. Faqat degan gaplaringiz hammasi haqiqat bo'lishi kerak.
Bo'ladi.
Okay.
Mening undaq nimalarim bor, ko'rsatmayman sotqa.
So'z kesdim.
Undaq nimalarim bor meniki. Undaq mening sifatlarim bor, ko'rsatmayman.
I have some evidence documents. Do you need me to show it to you?
I'll ask counsel for the inquiry to ask you some questions and we'll see where we go.
Hazırcha biz sizden sual soraymiz. Sual sorab şu jarayonda onun ahvoliga qaraymiz.
Kompüterler parçadan çıkmaydı.
Welcome, Tribunal. Hoş geldin. You were born in Almaty, Kazakhstan. You never had the Chinese nationality, have you?
Bugünkü bu sotqa hoş geldiniz. Siz Kazakistan'da tug'ilgandingiz, shundaqmi? Siz o'zingizninki asli Xitoy garajani bo'lib boqmagan, Xitoy o'zining adini bo'lib boqmagan.
Yo'q, men Xitoy grajdanı bo'lib boqmagan, men Qozog'istonda tug'ildim.
No, I was never been Chinese nationality. I never had Chinese nationality because I was born in Kazakhstan.
When you were arrested in Urumqi, did you ask for consular protection from Kazakhstan? Did you ask the Kazakh consul to come to your assistance?
Sizni Urumchi'da qo'lga olgan vaqtda siz Qozog'iston elchixon tarafdan yordam so'radingizmi?
Yordam so'radim. Men tutgan vaqtda men dedim, men o'rischa o'qidim. Men ya Xitoycha ya Uyg'urcha men o'qiy olmayman. Sizlar nima yozganinglar men bilmayman. Men advokat beringlar deb birinchi kundan tortib men advokat so'radim. Biroq men javob berdi ular. Dedi, sen biz bir sotqa chiqib sen bir seni kesilib bir chatga bo'lmag'icha biz sen hech qanaqa huquqing yo'q, sen advokat erishqa dedi. Men bermadi hech qanaqa advokat. Bir yil 3 oy 10 kun asha lagerda turmada turdim. Shu vaqtcha meni konsulliklar bilan men uchrashdimdi, tug'izmadi. Sababini dalalayman. Meni Gulbahor Jalil deb Xitoycha ismimni yozib, ham mana shifinchi nomerni yapqi bilib oldim. Shu nomerni yapqi bilgizdi.
To'xtang, men tarjima qilishim kerak. Sorry, I just have to stop her there to be able to interpret all. From the day one, I have requested that I need a lawyer because I couldn't read in Uyghur or in Chinese because I was educated in Russian in Kazakhstan. But they refused my request, and instead they said, until you have to go to court and have the decision, you cannot have a lawyer. I was detained 1 year, 3 months, and 10 days, and I was forced to have a Chinese ID, and they forced me to remember the ID number. Okay, sizni to'xtatib qo'ydim bayam, chunki bekchiq nim qilsangiz ba'zi gaplarni men tarjima qila olmasligim unutib qolishim mumkin. Shu abay to'xtagan yeringizdan yana davomlashtirsangiz.
Men shu yem tutgan vaqtda, shu lagerning ichiga kirgan vaqtda nima shifinchi nomerni yodqi bilib ol dedi. U yodqi hozirgacha men bilmayman.
Okay, when I was taken into the cell and they told me that I must remember the ID number, the Chinese ID number. I can even tell you now, I still remember that ID number.
Mr. Lilov, soon after your arrival, they took you for medical examination. Can you explain what examination was carried out and what was the purpose?
Siz shu yerga borgandan keyin shu zaman sizni tekshiribdi. Tekshirgan vaqtda qandaq tekshirishlarni qildi? Ya'ni doktorxonada tekshirgan undan keyin bu tekshirishninki ular sizga nima sababdan tekshirganligini sizga deydimi?
Mağ işim demedi. Mağ undaq bizge mağıl emas. Hemisiga hech kim demeydi. Qarxaltı kiydirip kolumuz putumuzga kişenni yeşmedi. 5 yıllık kişenni 1 yıl 3 ay 10 gün men kucaqlap yattım. Hem aşı doktor hanım apağa vaqtda kolumuz koyza selip, beşimga kişen selip, o beşim qarxaltı kiydirip, birinci qetim bir hafta boldu degen vaqtda meni aşı doktor hanım apağa vaqtda 3 harbiy avtomat bilen 4 saqçılar, 4 ayal saqça, 3 harbiy ahaqlar avtomatlar bilen men yalnız aşı doktor hanım Can Soyan degen doktor hanım apadı. Şu yaqda men tekşirdim.
Okay. They never explained to me anything. They don't explain to anyone about what they do. They have placed black hood over our heads every time when we were taken. We were handcuffed and had the shackles on our ankles. And the very first time I was taken to this so-called the police hospital, or the detective hospital, I went there. I had a black hood over my head and handcuffs as well. 4 police women and 3 soldiers, armed soldiers, accompanied me to the place. And they,
How many times were you medically examined while you were there for 15 months?
Mushu 15 ayning ichida qancha qitim sizni tekshirish qildi?
Men esimde yok. Her ayda bizi tekşiriş kılıdı. Doktorxonaga apırdı. Can Soyan degen yuğan bir 3 avtobus ya 4 avtobus kelidi. 30 kişilik. Aş bizni apırdı, qarxaltı kiydirip hammamizni aşaqda tekşiraydi. Erken deydigan bir ikinci türmündeki çoğun doktorxon aşını içedime bir qetim tekşirdi. Qağını bizni aşı Can Soyan degen doktorxonaga apırıp tekşirdi. Tekşirgen vaqtda menin aşağı kan besimim 200'ge çıkıp ketken vaqt eşedim meni doktorxonaga yatqız qoydu.
Okay. I don't remember exactly how many times, but at least once a month we were taken to this special hospital. Normally there are 3 to 4 buses arrives and then take all of us exactly in the same situation, same condition, black hood over our head and handcuffs and chains. And when I was in a number 2 prison, I was examined in a clinic inside that number 2 prison as well.
You were forced to take pills. Was it every day that had a serious effect on your orientation? Can you explain what pills they were and how many a day or how many a week you were taking?
Siz mushu doğru badi degan gapni qilibsiz. Bu doğruni kunda badimi, kunda nima qildingizmi, qo'llandingizmi yoki qanchalik vaqtda bir badi? Andan keyin bu doğruni ishlatgandan keyin sizga ta'siri kunda yo o'xshash ta'sir bo'ldimi?
Bizga bir haftada bir qatim dori beradi.
We were given medicine once a week.
Hammamizga labadın datti payda turinglar deb hammamiz payda turatdik. Mana 3 tal dori beradi. 3 tal dori.
We were called over the loudspeaker to line up, and once we line up, we were handed 3 tablets each time. 3 qitim tablet beradi dedingiz, ha?
Yani 10 kuni bir qatim bizga ukol salatdi. Buni yugan to'mirimizga 10 kun bir qaytamada ukol salatdı. Hem kanımız
Once
alattı.
in
Ne
10
üçün?
days, we were injected. We had an injection once in 10 days. Anandın kin? Yeah.
The tribunal may have some questions for you.
Thank you very much.
Bir telefon verip ama hazır. Yarlarım küsün.
When you had, in your statement, you say that you had ultrasound scans. Could you tell us which parts of your body or which organs, if you know, they were scanning? And was it, they were repeated, apparently, you say. So how, did they do the same scans in the same places every time, or were they different each time?
Siz bayanatınızda dikkat anlasınız sualını. Ringing'i aldı depsiz, ringing'i düşerdi depsiz. Muşu her bir kıtımda sizni doktorga apaganda, tekşürge vakitte her kıtımda ringing'i saldı mı? Onun için bu ringing'i sağanda her kıtımda okşaş yani ringing'i tekşürdü mü? Onun için eğer şu ringing'i tekşürgende kayani tekşürdü, şunu bir eniqtab bergen bolsanız.
Meni Cansoyan'da tekşirdi. 3 qetim apadı, 3 qetim meni Cansoyan 3 qetim men yattım. Cansoyan'da tekşirdi. Rentgende. Ben bütün bedenimizni men maylarını sürkep meyli aparat bilen aşağı rentgenden tekşirdi. Keyin maç takıp her ayda meni aşağı Cansoyan'da öpkümüsünü tekşirdi. Men dedim o ziyan boldu, bir ayda bir yılda bir qetim tekşiriş kereksizler. Her ayda tekşiravatsızlar dep dedi. Dedim aşağıdaki sakçılarga desem sen ağzını yap, ağzını jum depla. Junguz koydu, rengengimi düşettik manda öpkemle.
I had the full checkup once a month. We all had a full checkup once a month, and I had this scan 3 times, and they also did the X-ray, the X-ray to check my lung every month. I even questioned them, why do you have to do X-ray every month? But they said, you shut up, you cannot question us.
Mana bedellerim sap yara. Aşı lagerden çıkka, yeng çıkka mana menin hazır mana videoga düşürüp atma, kündü düşürme. Aşı işkan darlı, begen darılanıki, sağa ukollanıki mana spat.
You can see I still have scars in my body. I am still suffering from it. This is, yeah, I took.
What were the scars from? How
Bu
did you get the scars?
nimi sebepten boğan ya ki nimi kandak bir yarıla bu?
Aşı lagerdi boğan, nemiz lagerden çıkıp maçta hazırgı çimanda maçta çıkak çıkıdı. Begen darılanıki.
Yeah, when I was in the camp, I had a skin. I suffered from the skin condition. Almost everyone suffered skin condition there. But even after I left, it's not healing. I still suffer from the itchiness.
Thank you. And do you know, or was it ever explained to you, what the blood tests were for and what the injections or drugs that you received were?
Ulan sizlerge bu sizge bu kan tekşürüşünki yani kan elip kan tekşürüşünki sebebinin nemiligini anonki nemi üçün sizlerge okul sağanlıqı bu doğrusuda bir düşendiriş bedimi.
Mümkün emas, biz onda ağzımızı açmayız, onda hemenla payda turunga dedi apırdı.
Not possible. We cannot even ask them. All they say, line up, and then we would be taken.
You mentioned in your witness testimony that all the prisoners in prison number 3 were taken to the hospital or clinic for medical examinations on a monthly basis. who were the other prisoners? Were they all Muslims from different ethnic backgrounds, or there were other prisoners like different from different groups than Muslims?
Bayanatınızda siz şu üçüncü türmede vaqtыңızda həmminglarni bir ayda bir qitim şu doktorxanaga apadi, tekshirishga apadi depsiz. Bu başqalar, sizning degan başqalar, mush hammasi birlam millatdimi ya başqa musulmon millatlardimi ya başqa, ya'ni ulardimi başqa millatlarda?
90% desem oldu, sap Uygurlar. Hem de biz bir kamerada 40 adam olduk. 40 adamdaki 38 Uygur bolsa, bir tao Kazak, bir tao Kırgız bolsa boludu. Onu aşağı nimneki, şu vatanniki, Kazak ve Kırgız, çetelliklerden bir men buldum.
Okay, I can tell you 90% of all the prisoners were Uyghurs, and about 10% are from the other Muslim ethnic group. For example, if there are 40 people in a cell, 38 are Uyghur, and 2 could be one Kazakh, one could be Kyrgyz. And I was only a foreign national there.
The other people who were detained with you, do you know what they were detained or arrested for? What crimes were they alleged to have committed?
Şu siz bilen billa tutulgan başqalar nima uchun tutulganligini bilamsiz? Nima sababdan ular qandaq bir gunohlar bilan tutulganligini bilamsiz?
Bilemem.
Dep beramiz.
Yazdım, cıqını ismini yazdım, cıqını bilemem. Hiç kana günahı yok. Müslüman boğa üçün tuttu. Birisiniki Uygurca bir kız bak 47 yaşlık doktor bop işleydi. Ayjamal ismi, Ürümçide turdu. Aşnım tuttu. Sen deydi, senin telefonunda Uygurca nakşı çeklengen nakşı çıktı dep. Bir ayal 51 yaşta balam üydün un bilen serengütüge kaptı dese sen kanaq şıpır bedin aş ayalını tutup aldı. Kambar Nisa. Umu çok ticaretçi aşı Kualinde ticaret kıldı. Hiç kana işler yok ulanaki.
Everyone I know, all innocent. They were there because they were Muslim, because they were Uyghur. And I can give you many examples. For example, one Uyghur lady, 47 years old, who was a doctor, she was detained because they found a Uyghur song in her phone, and that's said that the song was a band song that what she was listening. And there was another lady who was 51 years old. 51 yaş ayalınki nimsini depesiniz mi? Yani düşündürpesem. So just let her to repeat what she said.
Kaysne?
51 yaş ayalınki.
Kambar Nisa. Balsağa vişinde deptu. Balam büyüdü un tügüdü. Serengi tügüdü. Ağaç kegine desen, sen kandak şıpır beden, sen kandak onunla şıpır, bilsin o şıpır ne? Sen kandak, sen onunla kandak, sen nim dedin, sen nimiş o gepni kıldın, sen o başka bir gepni kıldın dep, şu ayağını tutulaptı. Balsı boğanken un tügüdü deptu.
Okay. This 51-year-old Uyghur woman, whose name was Kambar Nisa, and she sent a message to her son that we run out of flour, and so I asked him to bring them some flowers, but they accused her of sending him a secret message, and she was accused of sending her son a secret message, and that was a reason.
During her time in your detention, was the subject of forced organ harvesting ever mentioned?
Sizmiş türmü jaryanida organ etkesçilik, yani ishki a'zo etkesçilik mushundaq bir so'zlarni angladingizmi? Nimangizning qulog'ingizga mushundaq qulog'ingizga yetgan Aşnaq bir neme boldumı şu jarayonida, shu ichida vaqtingizda?
İşçi vaqtida qizlar datti organlarni ip satadigan deb ishlab datti. Endi biroq bizning amda qizlar lager yosh kamerni ichidagi qizlarni ip chiqib ketadi. Yosh qizlarni qaytib o qizlar kamerni ichiga kirmadi. Uni nega ketdi, nim qildi biz uni surishtirmaymiz ichida. Uni biz bilmaymiz nega ketganini.
Yes, I heard from the ladies there. They said we heard there is organ harvesting activities taking place, but there were many ladies were taken away from the cell and never came back. So I wouldn't know what happened to them. They just disappeared.
This happened in her cell? Ladies disappeared
Siz
from her cell?
özünüzninki şu birli tuğan kızlarının içinde yo'qolib ketganlar bor, shundaqmi?
Kırımda sorak dep açık ketudi, ismini ataydi, do dep oturumuz eshikni oldida, qarqaltiq qilib akir ketudi, açık ketudi, uni qaytib kirmaydi. Agar menima açık ketdin sorakka. 24 saatdan keyin meni akir qo'ydi, men sorakdan kirdim deb men kirdim. Garbi qizlar kirmagan qizlar u qaytib kirmaganlar u nega ketdi biz bilmaymiz.
Yes, of course, there are many occasions. I was called once. I was taken for interrogation. It lasted 24 hours and I came back to my cell. But many other women who were taken away for interrogation, for questioning, never returned.
And my final question is, under what circumstances was she released eventually? Why was she released?
Endi bu meningki eng oxirgi bir savolim, qandaq bir sharoat bilan sizni chiqaribdi, ya'ni turmadan o'zingizning erkinligingizga erishdingiz?
Men o'zim bilmayman, meni tutgan vaqtda mana bunda xatlarni men uyga Qozog'istonga aytibdi, tutgan kuni mana Gulbahor Jalil deb terrorist deb, mana terrorist.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what was the reason they released me at the time. I found out later while I was in prison, they have sent letters to my home in Kazakhstan, and I can show you these letters here now. It says, accuse me of a terrorist, being a terrorist.
Ki mening ballarım, mening ballarım, 2 qiz bir o'g'lim bor, cho'ng. Ashlar meni apam normal tijoratchi, 20 yil tijorat qilayotgan, bizni undaq emas deb to'xtamay har haftada xat yozganman. Mana qo'l bilan yozgan. Bu xatlarga Xitoy yana mashtaq bu terrorist qatnashgan ham terrorist qilgan. Biz mana tekshiryapmiz deb menda Xitoycha yozib, menda o'rischa tarjimon qilib aytibdi. Mana saqlama uni kopyasi meni originali bor. Kerak bo'lsa men sotga original beraman. Mana.
My children, I have 3 children. They all repeatedly wrote to China and also relevant places, and explaining to them that I'm a simple businesswoman and I have never involved in any other matters. But the Chinese authorities repeatedly returned or replied to their letters saying that I was under investigation because of this terrorism charges.
Thank you.
Can you tell us, were any or all of the both prison guards and doctors who carried out tests on you Uyghur, Han Chinese, or some other grouping?
Mushu sizni tekshirgan vaqtda deydi, sizni tekshirganda yoki saqchi bo'lsin yoki mushu turmadagi gundipaylar bo'lsin, bular mushu butun Uyg'urlarmi yoki qandaq millat?
Ikkita Uyg'ur bo'lsa, uchinchisi Xitoy qarab turdi ashlarga. 3 odam so'roq qildi. ikisi kol koyup başta kompüter, birisi kompüterde yazdı, birisi sorak kıldı, birisi Xitay eşlanı yeni karap durdu.
Normally, when taken to questioning, there are 3 people. If 2 of them were Uyghur, 1 is Chinese, who would check them what they're doing.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you a delicate question, and if you don't want to answer, that's fine. Just let me know.
Mən naiti bir inç bir sualını sorayım. Eğer de cevap verişini halımısınız, o ihtiyarınız bana desiniz buldu.
While you were detained, did at any point in time did you witness any sexual violence towards prisoners that you were with?
Siz muşu türmünün içindeki vaxtıda özünüz yoki başqalarının ki türmü xadimləri tərəfindən cinsi cəhətdən bir təcavüzçülük yoki ağır bir nemge uçurab baxdınızmı? Ya başqalarının uçurğununu gördünüzmü?
Kömeden başka kızlar kırıp diyen vakta kırıp ondak yapılanı ondak nomus kılına deşke diyen kızlar var, anladım. Bırak benim üzerime 24 saat kamera yok ya ki talak açık vakta beni uyat sözler bilen tılap aşağıda benim urup aşağıda tacavüz kılmaya üzerime uçuraştım. Beni uyat sözler bilen tılap eğer sen hırak kılmışsan nemni hırak kıldın bilmem ben hırak kılmışsan biz seni anda kılmışsın anda kılmışsak kamera yok ya ki 24 saat beni sordu.
I never witnessed, but I did hear girls when they returned after the questioning or after the interrogation, and they said there are things it is too shameful to say. When I was isolated and 24 hours when I was interrogated, they threatened me with certain sexual violence. They said if I didn't admit, then they might do this or do that.
What is the age range of the women that you were with?
Siz bilen tuğan ayallarınki yeşi kançılıktan kançılık yani yaş nemisi.
14 yaştan 80 yaşgacha ayollar bilan yattım.
Throughout there were as young as 14 years old and as old as 80 years old.
Ms. Yelilova, thank you. Ms. Yelilova, thank you for coming for being available to the tribunal. We have had to take your evidence quite quickly, but rest assured we have all read the detail contained in your statement, which explains the suffering that you went through. And thank you for your assistance today.
Sizge köp rahmet. Bugünkü bizningki bütün sorgan suallarımızga biz qanaatlangadek cavaplarını berdiniz. Anından keyin qolgan bütün sizningki shu turmaga kirib chiqish jarayonidagi ahvollarni nayt inchki bayonotda yezilibdi. Bular hammasi shu sizningki bergan nemangiz bo'ldi. Bergan
Bir ishga qo'shsam bo'ladimi bir ikki so'z?
Can I add few words?
Yes, I may stop you if they're irrelevant, but if you want to add a few words, please do.
Azraq sözlüsünüz buldu. Eğer de bizge alaqısı bo'lmagan nima bo'lsa, balki men sizni to'xtatishim mumkin.
Bo'ladi. Bizni aşağıda Nimqavaqda bir aydan keyin meni bizning hammamizning boshlarimiz pishinib ketdi. Ham yarib bedalimizga hammamizniki bir meniki emas, hammamizni yarib ketdi. Beshlarimizni bizni so'rmasdilar, beshimizni hammamizni taqirib chiqib, beshimizni tushirib etdi. Mening chechim uzunti, beshim tushirib etdi. Uyga chiqqavaq chechim qisqitdi. U bir ikkinchisi doktorxonada men aşağıda ukol urib uxlatgan bir ayolni ko'rdim. Ham aşağıda to'rtta bir kamerda to'rt ayol bor, juzrang kelgan, ashlan uxlatib etmiz deb ular navbatini kutib o'tiradi.
Thank you.
After I was taken to prison, around 1 month, within 1 month, we all developed lice. Yeah, we developed lice, and then they forcibly shaved our hair. All the women's hair was forcibly shaved off. And there was another occasion. I want you to know that they injected one lady, and they said that the injection is to put her to sleep.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you, madam. Your evidence is now ended. Thank you.
Bo'ldi, rahmat sizga. Sizningki bergan bugungi guvohligingiz tugadi. Rahmat.
Rahmat.
Rahmat. Thank you.
Chairman,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, our next witness is Yakiharu Takahashi from Japan. The evidence, his statement is page 189. I think he'll be giving his evidence in English, I assume.
He's in Japanese, so he has a translator with him.
Oh, he has a translator there. Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for making yourself available to the tribunal to give evidence. Please be sure you tell us the truth. You'll now be asked some questions by counsel to the tribunal.
Mr. Takahashi, can you please introduce yourself and also explain your position in Japan Society for Transplantation?
高橋さんでは自己紹介をされた後にですね、こちらの日本航空学会に関してどのような関係性があるのかご説明いただけますか？
職業はフリーランスのジャーナリストです。
I'm a freelance journalist.
2007年から、この移植の問題を追及しています。
Since 2007, I've been investigating about the transplantation.
それで、日本移植学会に対しては、移植の状況を知れば知るほど移植学会が何もしてないということに気づき、それを追及しています。
And through my investigation, I've found more and more that the Japanese Society for Transplantation is really not doing its job as expected, and so I felt compelled to testify.
You have interviewed 3 recipients of the transplantation from China. Can you briefly explain to the tribunal how you interviewed them and why?
中国で移植を受けられた方3名の方にこれまで面と向かってインタビューされてますけれども、その内容に関してご説明いただけますか？
私が取材できたのは3人ですけども、実際にはどれくらいの人が日本から中国に渡って移植を受けているか、その数字は全く分かりません。
I've only been able to interview 3 recipients so far, but I have no idea how many more people have the same experience.
それで金額が非常に高額です。で、日本の中には33万人という透析患者がいますけども、その中の一部の人、少しお金の余裕のある人たちが中国に行って移植を受けています。
There are many patients who are in need of transplants. About 330,000 people are going through a dialysis currently, but only a few who could afford to go over to China to receive this operation are able to go through the transplantation as of right now.
それで斡旋する組織はインターネット上に組織の名前を出して患者を募集するところもあるし、あるいは地下に潜って何も言ってなくて患者同士のコミュニケーションで、このところに頼めば移植ができるということで、全くわからないような状況で中国に渡って移植を受けている方もいます。
And these recipients usually find the mediating organization through internet, their websites. Others find information through other recipients who've gone through the transplantation and find out about it that way because they're not publicly displaying any information.
それで希望する患者たちはですね、中国に行ってお金がかかりますけれども、その中に全てが入っていて、一部の方、あるいはほとんどの方がですね、このお金の一部が、ドナーの、家族に渡っているということを認識しています。
And all the monies that are paid for the transplantation includes all the fees for the transplantation and also some money that will be given to the families of the people who are donating the organs.
それで、患者たちの話ではですね、2006年当時は、死刑囚のドナーが死刑囚だということを、聞いて認識している方もいますが、最近は、ドナーからの提供ということを隠すためだろうと思いますけれども、北京から来た臓器だということを聞いて患者は移植を受けています。北京から来たというのは、死刑囚から取った臓器だということです。
In about 2006, the Chinese government was transparent about where the organs came from, specifically from death row inmates. But recently, they are not as transparent about where the organs come from. However, when they say they're from Peking, Beijing, it's implied that they're from the death row inmates.
Mr. Takahashi, you refer in your statement to 3 cases. Can we ask you to limit your evidence to the 3 that you have interviewed? These were receiving transplants between August and November 2013. Is that correct?
こちらの実際にインタビューされた3名のことに関して情報をちょっとコントロールしてお話ししていただきたいんですけれども、こちら2013年にこちらのインタビューされたということで間違いないでしょうか。
間違いないです。
Yes, interviewed 3 recipients in 2013. That was in 8月ですよね。In August.
You have not followed this with any further interviews with the recipients after 2013.
この2013年以降はこちらのドナーの患者様たちとの何かフォローアップありますか？それ以外。
ないですね。
No follow-ups with them since.
There is some discrepancy because you said you interviewed them in June 2018. Is that correct?
2018年の7月、6月にまたインタビューされているというふうに報告書に書いてあるんですけれども、2013年以降されてないということだったんです。
斡旋組織の人は時々。
Okay, so he has interviewed the 3 people in 2013, and then who he's interviewed in 2018 were the people from the mediating organization, not the recipients.
Sorry, from the intermediate organizations. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you did not interview the recipients, you interviewed the intermediate organization.
でその移植患者の方にインタビューしたのではなく、その斡旋組織の方にインタビューしたということで。
インタビュー3人は直接してます、もちろん。
Yes, well, I have talked to the recipients face to face.
Can you also explain to the tribunal whether they inquired where the organs were coming from and what was the reaction to the answers they got from the Chinese authorities?
その患者の方たちはどこから臓器を受け取っているのかを分かったときに、その反応としてどのような反応を中国の政府にされましたか？
政府に、
はい、
レシピエントが中国政府に対してそんなに罪悪感を持ってるとかっていうことはなくてですね。
did not really have any towards where the organs came from.
彼らは、ドナーの家族にお金が渡っているということで、むしろ良心の呵責を持たずに住んでいるというのが現実です。
Rather, more than where the organs actually came from, but the fact that some of the fees that they paid for the transplantation went to the families of the donors made them feel good about it.
中国では外国人に移植してもそれは法律に触れないというふうに斡旋組織から彼らは聞かされています。
The recipients have heard from the mediating organization that donating the organs to foreigners is acceptable in China.
で彼らが手術を受けた病院では日本人だけではなく中東の人たちがたくさんいたのを彼らは目撃していますから、自分たちは合法的な移植を受けてというふうに全ての3人の方は全てそういうふうに思っています。
Also, the recipients, while they're there, they had witnessed many people from the Middle East even, so they felt that receiving organs as foreigners was legal, and they felt that they were doing the right thing.
Thank you. The tribunal may have some questions for you.
I have 3 questions for you. The first one is, could you tell us what you mean, the English translation here in your paper is a restored kidney transplant. I'm not sure what that means. Is that someone who's had a transplant and then that organ fails, and so we're referring to someone who needs a second transplant?
こちらですね、英語で書かれたテストモニアルを読ませていただいたんですが、復習された臓器という内容表現がありますけれども、実際復習された臓器というのは修復された臓器というのはどういうことでしょうか？
日本は臓器が非常に不足しているので、長径腎がん4センチ未満の小さな腎臓にできた小さながんを4センチの部分のがんを取って、それを透析患者に移植しています。
In Japan, there's a shortage of healthy organs to be transplanted. So they take kidneys, for example, that have less than 4 centimeters of cancer cells. And then they treat the cancer, and then they use the organs.
Thank you. The second question I have relates to what you know or found out about the donors involved in these operations. If people can have a kidney taken from them and remain alive on the other kidney, do you know if the donors involved in these operations lived or died, or whether they were just in other words, were they just giving one kidney and restored to normal state, or were they killed to take their organs?
こちらの移植を受けられた方たちは、その提供された方、その臓器を提供された方たちがその後どのようになったかご存知ですか？例えば、その手術後に亡くなりになったとか、その他の腎臓でそのまま健康に暮らせたのか。
修復腎移植ですか？
はい、提供された方ですね。受けた方ではなく、
修復腎移植で。
その中国の臓器を提供された方たち。取られた方たち、レシピアントではなく、取られた方たちの、
全くわかりません。
they have no idea what happened.
Thank you. And my last question, in the hypothetical situation that you yourself needed a transplant, how would you set about in Japan contacting the mediating organizations? Who are they?
仮にですけれども、ご自身が臓器移植が必要となった場合に、どのような手段を取られますかと、どのようなそういう斡旋組織の方に連絡を取るなり、どのような方法を取られますか？
私がですか？
はい。
日本はその海外でやってることを禁じる法律がありませんから、いくつもネット上に、その斡旋する組織が出してプロパガンダというか、ホームページを出してますので、そこに接触してから、中国に渡る。私自身は別にそれをやりたいとは思いませんけども、命がもう間近に、生命の危機が間近に迫っている人は、藁をもすがるつもりでそこにたどり着いて、お金を払って行って、私はそんなことはしません。
I personally would not participate in this sort of arrangement, but if I had to, I would go online, find a website for a mediating organization that I can trust, and I would go about contacting them that way.
Do you have a list of such organizations that you were able to identify in Japan?
今現在、日本でそのような斡旋をされている組織のリストなどお持ちですか？
リストは持ってないですけども、
I do not have a list, but
公に出てるのを今確認できているところで、3つ4つはあります。
I've seen 3 or 4 organizations that are publicly advertising on the internet.
Thank you.
Just for your information, there is a list attached, pages 195 to 199 of the organizations that support this activity, including insurance companies.
The 3 patients who had transplants in 2013 and who spoke to you in 2018 told you directly of their experiences in China.
2013年にインタビューされた3名の臓器移植を受けられた方たちなんですが、それを直接お話しして、で直接高橋さんに中国で受けたということをおっしゃって、of course.
The mediating organizations of whom you speak and who speak of such things as organs from Beijing, meaning organs from death row prisoners, how many levels of what's called hearsay, how many levels of communication were involved there? Did the mediating organizations have direct contact with the people who were giving them the information?
こちらの、sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, when the mediating organizations told you about such things as organs from Beijing, meaning organs from death row prisoners, what was their source of information? Was it direct or was it indirect?
こちらの斡旋業者の方たちが、例えば北京から来た臓器と聞いたら、それは死刑囚から来た臓器だという部隊の下で動いてたというお話は、その斡旋業者はどこからその情報を得たんでしょうか？
それは中国の病院です。
The mediating organizations had information from the Chinese hospitals.
And how many mediating organizations did you have contact with in order to get this information?
そのインフォメーションを手にするためにいくつぐらいのこの業者とお話になられましたか？
斡旋業者は斡旋業者から患者レシピエントじゃなくて、事情を説明するとですね、レシピエントは日本に帰ってきて免疫抑制剤をもらいますよね。薬です。その薬をもらうためにいろんな病院を訪ね歩きます。で、日本移植学会の先生たちは中国で移植をやってきた人たちに対しては免疫抑制剤。
斡旋業者と2011年に判断されていると言っているので、何人ぐらいの組織の方とお話しされたんですかという質問です。
それが一つの組織です。
Okay, just one mediating organization that you interviewed in 2018.
In the paper which you have provided to us, headed Japanese Transplant Tourism to China, which I think was edited by Mr. Yukari Werrell, it says in it, under the section, having a transplant in China, which is at the bottom of the first page, that the identity of Mr. A, who I believe is a politician, is available, but not available for public dissemination. Would it be possible for the tribunal to have that information on a confidential basis, as stated?
I'm sorry, which part of the testimony, what page are you referring to?
So there's a paper annexed to Mr. Takahashi's. Is that a different?
195.
Yeah, on page 195. At the bottom of 195.
Okay, we don't have the same page numbering system here, but
okay. Well, perhaps we could come back to that.
Oh, sorry,
Mr. Chairman, and ask Mr. Sabi and his team to come back to that. Thank you.
Takahashi, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just a couple of clarification questions. Is my understanding correct that the position in relation to restored kidney transplants has now changed in Japan?
こちらの修復、臓器移植というものは、今このインタビューされた時と今の現状とでは何か変化がありましたか？
あります。
Yes, there has been changes.
So now it is restored kidney transplants are now acceptable.
こちらのその修復移植というのは今はもう認められている。
一部の病院で認められるようになりました。一部の病院で。
Some hospitals do accept it.
And has that led to less people or no longer anybody from Japan going to China for organ transplant operations in China?
その一部の病院が認めたことによって中国へ渡航して移植を受ける患者さんの数が減ったもしくはいなくなったというような事実はありますか？
そんなことありません。
No, not at all.
Thank you.
Sorry, the audio is not working. Can't hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Takahashi, for making yourself available to the tribunal to give evidence. Your evidence is now concluded.
ありがとうございました。本日参加いただきまして、こちらの証言は考慮に入れさせていただきます。ありがとうございました。
Mr. Sabi?
Our next witness is Mr. Wang, who's appearing online.
On page?
Oh, page 177. Oh, sorry.
Here, it might be a second.
可以听得到吗？
Can we have this mic on? You just speak.
Can you all hear?
Hi, how are you?
Is the witness online?
我能听
Because
见你们的声音，我能听见你们的声音。
good
She can
afternoon, good
She can
evening.
hear you.
Can you hear me?
你可以听到吗？
可以听得到，很
Yes,
清
I
楚。
can. Very clear.
Thank you very much for making yourself available to the tribunal. Please be sure to tell us the truth. You will now be asked some questions by counsel.
非常感谢你抽空能够来参加中国法庭，希望你能够在今天的说明里面能够句句属实。
谢谢给我这个机会，我讲的全是。
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Can you tell us how many times you have been detained and for how long?
你可不可以告诉我们你过去被几次关押，有多长的时间？
在破坏法轮功这个过程当中，我5次被抓，2次关押在马三家教养院5年3个月。
During the time of the persecution of Falun Gong, I was detained twice, totally about 5 years and 3 months.
What was the reason given for your detention?
为什么你会被关押呢？
因为我信仰法轮功，所以5次被抓捕。
Because I believe in Falun Gong and practice Falun Gong, so I was arrested 5 times.
And did you have any legal representation on any of those 5 occasions?
你在这些关押的时候，被抓的时候，你有没有任何的律师代表？
没有，他抓捕我的时候没有任何手续，包括送到马三家教养院不出示任何证件。
No, there was no any legal representatives, nor were there any legal procedures.
So there were no judgments that formed the basis of the sentence in prison.
所以也没有任何的判决，是吗？
抓到车上以后，往马三家教养院的路上给我的那个劳教书。
So they gave me this judgment to be sent to the labor camp. On my way, being sent to the labor camp.
Were you in prison with other Falun Gong practitioners?
你当初在教养院的时候，是不是有其他的法轮功学员和你一起被关押？
有。
Yes.
And can you describe what happened on the 12th of May 2008?
你可不可以告诉我们，在5月12号2008年的时候发生了什么事情
？2008年5月12日，我们正在外面干活，突然警察就喊我们上车，上到一个大巴士上，给我们直接拉回到教养院卫生所。
On 12th May 2008, I was working, And all of a sudden, the policeman called us, and then there was a big bus. We were then being sent onto the bus and sent to the labor camp.
And can you talk about the blood tests that you referred to in your witness statement?
在你的证词上面，你有说到有关于验血，你可不可以告诉我们这个情况？
什么认识啊？
验血。
验血 ，OK。我们被拉到那个马三家教养院的卫生所，当时走廊有3、4个警察，还有3、4个穿白大衣的警察，有的是男的，有的是女的。
So we were being called to the correctional facility at Masanja, Liaoning. In the corridor, there were 3 to 4 policemen wearing white clothes. There were men and women policemen there.
Does she have anything to add to that from the details that's in the statement?
你还有没有要说什么的？就是你在证词上面说了这些有关于验血的事情。
当时那个警察叫我们靠着墙一边站着，说要是给我们抽血做化验，我就问他做什么化验，他说做传染病检查，我就问他做什么传染病检查，警察说你们怎么那么多废话，叫你验血你就验血。
So the policeman asked us to stand alongside the wall, telling us that they are going to take our blood and do some tests. Then I asked them, what kind of blood test you are going to do? They say, we are going to do some blood test for the disease. I say, what kind of disease? And he said, why are you asking questions and talking nonsense? When I ask you to get a blood test, you will do so as I said.
You are a nurse, so was the amount of blood taken appropriate for the tests that they suggested?
你是一个护士，那么你认为他们所抽的那些血的量是正常的吗？
我做了30年的护士，平时做生化检查2毫升血就够了，他整整抽了我那个针管都要到头了，抽了满满的一管，相当于3倍的正常的验血量。
I've been a nurse for 30 years. Usually, if there's any test, 2 ml is very sufficient. However, they took almost 3 times of that amount, nearly the complete syringe. So that's, my common sense is very over the normal amount that's needed.
Did you hear other prisoners or detainees talking about organ harvesting any of the time you were in prison?
那个时候你在劳教所的时候，有听说任何关于活摘器官的事情吗？
对，我知道，因为在2006年的3月8日，海外媒体曝光了中共活摘器官这个事情，我就怀疑他这次抽血跟活摘器官配血型有关系。
我知道的，因为Yes, I know about it. On 8th of March 2006, there were overseas media exposed the live organ harvesting happening in China. So I was aware of that. So I was suspecting that the blood test that they conducted on us was about organ harvesting.
Thank you. You describe being tortured. Were any reasons given to you for why you received that treatment?
你在劳教所的时候有受到酷刑，你知道是什么原因你受到那样子的待遇吗？
因为我不放弃法轮功的修炼，所以他们给我上大挂针、扣扣针。
Because I did not Because I did not give up my practice of Falun Gong, so they tortured me. They used a way called diagonal hanging and a large stretch to torture me.
Thank you. I have no further questions, but the panel will.
Before my colleagues, just one thing. Because of what you knew about or heard rumors about organ harvesting, when they wanted to take blood from you, they had to do it by 9 policemen forcing you onto a bed, correct?
我想问你，你知道有关于在那个时候，你知道或听说过有关于活摘器官，然后你拒绝被去验血抽血，那么那个时候呢，有9个警察压着你到床上去验血，是这样子的吗？对吗？
是的，当时我就提出来，你们做什么传染病化验，他就叫其他的人先抽血，把我放到最后一个。
Yes, that's right. At that time, I asked them, why did you take our blood test? So they asked other people to get the blood tested first. I was put to the end of the line to get blood test.
Ms. Wang, you said you were arrested 5 times, but you were in prison twice. Is that correct?
王女士，你是不是被抓了5次，然后2次被关押？
Yes.
During your first period of detention, you tell us of a story of your friend Xin Shuhua, who was threatened with heart donation. Is that correct?
你提到在第1次被关押的时候，有一个学员叫信淑华，告诉你他曾经被威胁说要强摘他的器官，这是正确的吗？
是的，他亲自跟我说的，并且说如果有机会，他愿意做证人来直接揭露这个真相。
Yes, she told me it in person, and she told me that if there is opportunities coming up, she is very willing to be the witness to expose this matter.
Is this the only incident of a threat of forced organ harvesting that you experienced during your first period of detention?
在你第1次被关押的时候，请问你这是不是唯一的一次你所经历到有关于这个威胁要做强摘器官的事情？
我第1次是2001年，我知道这个活摘器官的时候是2006年的事情。我是第2次被关押的时候被强行9个警察按压在那抽血的。
So I was detained in 2001. I knew about the organ harvesting in 2000. I was pressed by 9 policemen in my second detention.
I'm asking about the first detention period. Let's not go to the second one yet.
我是说你在第一次被关押的时候，我们还没有讲到第2次。
Okay. Now, yes, I understand.
So my question again is, during your first period of detention, apart from this one incident with your friend, did you come across any other incidents where the threat of forced organ harvesting was made?
那么在你第1次被关押这个期间呢，除了这一个你刚才讲的有关于这个被威胁要做强摘器官，是不是还有其他的事件有类似像这样子的威胁做强摘器官的事情发生呢？在你的身边或你经验到
？No.
Okay. In your second period of detention, were there any threats made to you about forced organ harvesting?
在你第二次被关押的时候，有没有任何有关于强摘器官的威胁？
这次已经是比较严重的，因为我当时知道他们这个要有这个倾向活摘器官做血化验，我就拼命的抓住那个门的把手，用尽全身力气坐在地上。当时警察就掰着我的手，强行的往床上拖我。
Well, this time was a more serious matter because I already knew about the matters about organ harvesting, so I resisted very strongly about the blood test. I was holding on to the door handle, and so there were several policemen trying to put me onto the bed for blood test.
Sorry, I'm a little confused here. That account of this policeman, that is in May 2008. Is that correct?
你刚才说的这个警察要强抓你，做这个抽血，是不是在2018年5月？
对，就是我刚才讲的，就是这个过程，我被强行拖到床上，被9个警察按压在床上抽血的。
Yes, that's correct. I was referring to what I was mentioning before. There were 9 policemen.
Yes, okay, I understand that.
Okay.
But I'm talking now about her second period of detention from August 2008 to November 2011.
Oh.
Right, so I'm not talking about May 2008 now. I'm talking about the period August 2008, November 2011, her second period of detention. Was there any experience or threat of forced organ harvesting during that period of 2 years and 3 months?
你在2010
Maybe just there is a discrepancy, Mr. Hu, because the witness says that she was detained from August 2008, while she refers to an incident of 12 May 2008. Maybe we ask her to check this discrepancy. Because on 12 May, according to, if the first statement is correct, on 12 May 2008, she would not have been in prison.
That's okay. Well, as I started my questioning by asking her to confirm she had been arrested 5 times, but she'd had 2 periods of detention. So I am assuming that the 12th of May 2008 incident was not an incident that happened while she was in detention, but it was a separate incident. Would that be correct? Can you translate that, please?
Sorry, which question you want me to ask now? Say that again, please.
I just want a clarification. The time when she was subjected to this forced blood testing on the 12th of May 2008, that was not during a period of detention. Is that correct?
他想要你澄清一下，就是在5月12日2008年的时候，你说这个有警察要强行把你抓到床上去抽血，这个事件是你被关押的时候吗？
是，我们当时正在干活。Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm asking the question about her second period of detention from August 2008 to November 2011. And I would like her to tell us whether there were any incidents of threats of forced organ harvesting made on her or anyone in her knowledge during that time.
那么你第二次关押的时候是2008年的8月到2011年的11月，是吧？
我第二次被关押是2007年的8月到2009年的11月，2年3个月。
My second detention was actually August 2007 to November 2009, over 2 years' time.
Okay, so we appear to have a discrepancy in the statement.
在你的证词里面，好像跟你刚才讲的有一些出入。
So can you just please clarify Ms. Wang, your second period of detention is August 2007 till when?
你可不可以再澄清一下，就是你第二次被关押的期间是2007年8月到什么时候呢？
我第二次被关押的抓的时间是2007年的8月到2009年的11月，2年3个月。我被强行抽血的是2008年的5月12日下午。
So I was detained on August 2007 till November 2009, 2 years, 3 months altogether. The date I was forced to take blood test was on 12th May 2008 in the afternoon.
And that was, so now that 2008 incident was during her second period of detention. Is that correct?
所以你被强行抽血，也就是在你第二次被关押的时候之间这段期间，是吧？
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. Did she experience or did she hear of any of her cellmates or people around her during the same time of detention who disappeared, who one day were taken from the cell and never came back?
你在第二次被关押的期间，有没有经历到任何有关于这种强摘器官的事件，或者是有任何的其他同时被关押的学员就是消失了，或者是就没有回来这个劳教所？
我被抽血的时候，当时有200多个人都同时被抽血，但是离到我回家的时候都没有给任何化验结果。
So there were over 200 people, inmates, were being asked and being sent to take the blood for blood test. But when I went home, there was no explanation or the blood test report back to me at all.
Okay, I will ask the question again. I'm asking about whether she knew of any of her cellmates or people who were detained together with her, whether they had been taken away and they never came back.
我再问一次这个问题，就是在你关押的期间呢，就是那些跟你一起被关押的人，你有没有知道什么情况是有一些这些同时被关押的这些学员呢就消失了，或者是就没回来这个教养院？
他们被带走的情况下，有的人就被带走了，但是我无法弄明白他们是被转移到另外一个地方，还是回家了，我不知道。
For the case that those inmates were being sent away, I had no way to find out whether they were being transferred to another center or they being sent back home. I didn't know about it.
And then my last question is that she has recounted incidents where she has been tortured, and I would like to know whether she's able to tell us whether there was any torture of a sexual nature that was done on her.
我想问一下，你提到就是你在被关押的期间呢，有被酷刑迫害。那么在这些酷刑当中呢，有没有任何的性侵犯？
No.
Thank you very much.
谢谢。
I have a quick question for her. In her statement, she talks about the fact that she has 30 years of experience as a nurse. And the first question I wanted to know is, was she a nurse in China?
你在证词里面刚才也提到，你曾经做过护士30年，你是在中国做的护士吗？
Yes.
And during the 30 years that she was a nurse in China, did she ever learn about or was she aware of the organ surgeries or transplant surgeries that took place in the hospitals?
你在做护士的这30年当中，你有没有曾经知道，或者是有听说有关于这个器官移植的这些手术在中国的医院在发生着？
当时候就是做器官移植医院很少很少。从迫害开始我就被抓了。活塞器官的信息是2006年我才知道的。当时我进教养院的时间是2002年。
When I was doing this nurse for those 30 years, there were many few organ transplant hospitals. I learned about organ harvesting in 2006, and then I was detained in 2002.
Did she work in a military hospital or was it a private hospital?
你是在私人的医院或者是在军事医院做护士的？
我是在辽宁省大连市中心医院做主管护士师工作。
那是一个私人的还是？
那是一个大型的医院，是一个辽宁省的三级甲等医院。
So I was a nurse in Dalian Liaoning Hospital. That is a large hospital, considered to be a third grade hospital.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for making yourself available to the tribunal. That concludes your evidence. Thank you.
非常感谢你能够抽空来参加我们的法庭，谢谢你。
我还有一个重要线索，我想说一下，可以吗？我最近才
I have something important to provide. Is that okay?
Very well. I'll stop you if it's not relevant.
好的，请说。如果不相关的话，我可能会止住你。
我前几个月偶然一个机会，我接触到一个人，他的爸爸就是被活摘器官了。
Several months ago, I had a chance to meet a person, and her father was a victim of organ harvesting. 继续说。
他就是为了揭露这个真相，他现在已经离开中国了，但是他的处境仍然在中共的追捕中，所以我不便给他名字说出来。
So this person tried to expose the organ harvesting, tried to expose his own experience, but because this person is being under surveillance and chased by the CCP, so I'm not at liberty to disclose this person's identity. 继续说。
但是他的那个，我跟他接触了几次，我很愿意在方便的时候，我可以把他提供给法庭，进一步讲清他的父亲被活摘器官的经过。
I have met this person several times, and I'm very willing to help to put this person in touch with the tribunal, for this person to tell the tribunal his or her experiences of the father's experience being harvested his organ.
Thank you very much.
非常感谢。
Arrangements will be made for somebody from ETAC to speak to you.
我们会做进一步的安排。
Thank you so much.
Not at all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Mr.
Our next witness, Mr. Chairman, is Ms. Leon, who will be giving evidence over internet.
Number?
It started at page 181. Mr. Chairman, this would be the last witness for public hearing. The last witness, our last witness would be in private.
Yes,
session.
well, the last witness is indeed entitled, because it was raised with me earlier, to be private, but I'm interested to know whether any part of the statement could be read out without causing risk, because the evidence is potentially very interesting, very distressing, and arguably important. Is there any way it could be read out or part of it before we go into private session with the witness?
Without giving further details, I can provide a very brief summary of that before the audience leave the room on that.
I think that would be helpful, because on the transcript, on sorry, a judgment, it'll have to be referred to if it's considered relevant by us, and it does a number of things about dates and procedures.
Okay, can you please connect her to the tribunal?
你可以听到吗？唐女士，请问你可以听到吗？
可以听到。
I can hear you. She's on.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
你可以听到庭长吗？
听到，听到。
Yes, I can.
Thank you for making yourself available to the tribunal. Please be sure to tell us the truth. Counsel to the inquiry will now ask you some questions.
非常感谢你能够抽空来参加法庭，请你在等一下的证词，提出来的时候必须要是事实，而且全部是事实。接下来会问你一些问题。
Okay.
Ms. Leon, welcome to China Tribunal. You were arrested in 2008 and were imprisoned for 3.5 years for being a Falun Gong practitioner. Is that correct?
唐女士你好，非常谢谢你来参加中国法庭。您是在2008年被关押的，总共被拘留了3年半，这正确吗？
正确。
Yes, that's correct.
You were then sent soon after your arrest to a hospital for physical tests. Can you explain that and explain to the tribunal why you call them irregular physical tests?
你在被关押之后就被送到医院去做健康身体检查，你说这个是不正常的，你可不可以说明一下当时的情况，为什么你会这么说呢？
我当时他进监狱的时候，他就做了体检，做了体检以后呢，就是第一次体检呢，就是可以理解，就是说他进监狱他都要体检，但是呢不定期的几次他都要做体检抽血。
When I was sent to the detention center, I think it's normal that when I first go into the prison, they do this physical test. However, for several times, the irregular physical test they want to conduct, then it becomes a bit strange.
You have explained that you were tested 5 to 6 times during your detention.
你被关押的期间，你说到有5到6次做这样的身体检查，是吗？
不完全是身体检查，就是他抽血，他抽我好像我记得是有个4、5，最低是4、5次。
It's not all physical examination. There were blood tests. As I can remember, there were at least 5 times of blood tests conducted.
都没有结果。
There was no report and there was no result sent to us.
In addition to your blood test, they also carried out some checks on your abdomen and also checked your eyes. Is that correct?
除了抽血检查以外，他们也检查你的腹部跟眼睛，是吗？
对，检查过。
Yes, they checked.
医院院长就是他那个监狱的医院院长，他检查。
Yes, the hospital in the prison, the principal doctor, they checked.
Did you know anything at the time about organ harvesting?
你在那个时候知道任何有关于强摘器官的事情吗？
那个时候，不知道。以前就是进监狱之前听说过，但是那个时候没有什么印象，没有感觉他会怎么样，他没有太大的感觉吧。知道有活摘这个事情。
I was aware of forced organ harvesting before I was detained, but when I was there and during that time, I didn't think of anything like that. I didn't feel that they would do something like that.
You're saying that if your sister had not constantly pressing the prison authorities, they would not have let you go, and probably you would have been chosen for organ harvesting. Can you further explain that to the tribunal?
你曾经在你的证词上面提过，要不是你的妹妹经常往监狱里面打电话，说不定你已经成为这个强摘器官的供体，可能已经不在世了。你可不可以针对这个说明一下，跟法庭做一个说明？
我可以。我在监狱的时候呢，他抽血，我没有什么的，因为在监狱里没有自由，他想要做这个没给你做什么就做什么。但是呢，我有一次呢，就是我不知道他给我吃了什么，也不知道是什么原因，我就是胃痛得很厉害。后来呢，就是他给我到那个监狱医院检查。第二天呢，他也没有什么做什么检查，他就给我送到就是监狱外的一个武警监察医院，是监狱外的那个医院。送到那以后呢，他就也是做了 CT， 做了抽血检查。后来呢，就是他。
So there was one time I didn't know what they fed me. They fed me with something, so I had a very severe stomach ache. So they sent me to the infirmary in the prison, and they did some physical examination, and then they sent me outside a hospital, Wujing Hospital. They did some CT and conducted some blood test. 请继续说。
在武警医院呢做了检查完，后来呢，就是他说我不知道他什么，他跟我妹妹说，因为当时家里没有别人了嘛，有妹妹就能和我妹妹联系上，他就说跟我妹妹打电话，我妹妹在黑龙江，绥化，他说你姐得癌了。我妹说那就放人吧，那就保外就医吧。他说那不能放，不够条件。后来我妹妹说那你不够条件，那我姐要出什么事，那我可不能饶你们。就是我妹妹挺厉害的，就是很强势的，就跟他说就说那我姐要出什么事，我不能饶你们，就是我和你们没完，就是说了这么一个强硬的话。后来呢，我就觉得，因为当时我不知道这些事情，后来他就几个警察就告诉我，他说你给你妹妹打电话，告诉你在这儿挺好的。我当时就是已经缓解了嘛，已经身体已经就是好一些了。 好一些的没什么事儿了，没什么事儿我就他因为当时法轮功学员是不允许往边打电话的，不允许和家里联系的，那么他就让我给我妹妹打个电话。
先停一下。So at that time I was sent to the police and military hospital outside of the prison. So and they called my sister. My sister was in Heilongjiang province at that time. They told my sister that I had cancer. My sister said, well, in that case, you should release her to send her to the hospital. And the officers say, no, that can't be the case because she was not qualified to be released for hospital. But my sister was very tough. And so my sister told them that if there was nothing happen to me, she would not let them get away. If I were not out alive. So then afterwards, I become better in my physical condition. So they asked me to call my sister to tell my sister that I was okay. At that time, actually, the Falun Gong practitioners being detained were actually not allowed to make phone calls to our families at all. 请继续说。
后来我就告诉我妹妹，我说我在这儿没事儿，也就不了了之了。就后来我就回到那个监狱了。
So then I called my sister, telling her that I was okay. Afterwards, I was being sent back to the prison, and this matter's gone away.
我曾经我还经历过他检查我的眼睛，就是把我调出去，从那个监视叫出去以后，就说你去检查眼睛，我就去检查，说外边来的医生，就是监狱外来的医生。检查眼睛，当时去检查了以后呢，我还问我的眼睛有什么毛病，完了那个检查的那个医生好像说角膜炎啊，也不是什么，反正他说了一句，后来我就走了，我再也没有什么结果。
At one time, they also did some eye examination on me. So they asked me to go to the doctor, and this doctor was actually from outside of prison, came in to conduct some test. So I asked the doctor, is there any problem with my eyes? And the doctor say something about the cornea infection, and but then they didn't do anything, and then I was sent back to my cell.
Thank you. The tribunal may now ask some further questions.
Could you tell us exactly how your eyes were examined?
你可不可以
on
告
each
诉
occasion?
告诉法庭，那个时候他们是怎么样做你的眼睛检查的？
当时就给我带到那个监狱的一个医院的一个室里，让我进去，因为他那个是很暗的一个室嘛，他就用那个什么仪器呢，我就不知道，他就让我就是对着那个医生，他就对我进行就是检查，看眼睛，这么看那么看。
So I was took from my cell to a hospital room. It was very dark, so I couldn't tell what kind of device they use. So I sat face to the doctor, and the doctor was checking my eyes.
Did he shine a particular light? Was he holding something in his hand, or was there a large piece of machinery in the room?
在做眼睛检查的时候，你身边周围前面是不是有任何的大型的仪器，或者是医师的手上 是不是有拿什么光啊照你？
好像是有一个仪器，至于有没有大型的东西，那都没有印象。
There seems to be a machine, a device there, but whether there is a large machine there, I don't have any recollection of that. I wasn't sure.
Thank you. Now you were in the camp, let's say 9 years ago or thereabouts, and at the CT scan, it was suggested that you were diagnosed with cancer, and that was told to your sister. As many years have gone past now, and has that diagnosis that was made then turned out to be false? Was there any suggestion that you had a positive diagnosis which has been sustained since that time?
那个时候你在做 CT 的时候呢，是后来医生有打电话告诉你的姐姐说你有癌症，那么之后也这么多时间过去了，是不是还有任何的迹象，或者是之后有认为说这个检验出来的结果呢是不正确的？
那他没有通知我，没有告诉我任何事情，我只是后来回来，我听我妹妹说医院监狱给他打电话。
也就是说，你之后还有没有在做类似的检查，或者是有任何的迹象说？
没有任何出来以后就是一切都很正常。
They didn't tell me anything. They only asked me to call my sister that I was okay. And after I came out from the detention center, everything was very, very normal.
And you were never treated for cancer after that CT scan?
也就是说，你后来出狱之后也没有做任何的癌症的治疗，是吗？
没有任何身体没有任何反应，就是很正常，
都很健康，是吗？
都很正常的。
No, I didn't do anything. My health was all very normal.
Miss Tang, when did you first learn about organ harvesting?
请问一下，你第一次是什么时候听说有关于强摘器官的事情？
我是在2006年的时候看那个网上报道的。我说这次我说这个证词呢是我出国以后我看了那个就是那个难以置信那个影片。我说这个经历，他在对我检查的那个经历，我都经历过。一个是检查眼睛，也是按那个腹部按得非常细。我说那我也经历过呀，抽血我也抽过呀，而且多次抽血。我现在回想起来这个事情，我就有点后怕。
I learned about it when I was reading articles on the website in 2006. After I came out from China, I saw a film called Unbelievable, the film. Hard to believe, sorry. Hard to believe. So in the film, their experiences remind me of my experiences back in the labor camp, how they conducted blood tests and how they check my abdomen, pressing hard on my abdomen to conduct the physical examination. After I saw this film, I started to be scared.
But when you say you first learned about it in 2006, so that means that when you were detained beginning in 2008, you were already aware that this was happening.
你2006年的时候是在网上看到报道，那表示说你是2008年的时候被关押的，也就是说你在关押之前就有知道活摘器官的事情，是吗？
知道，但是我没有想到他会对我怎么样。 而且我想好像当时这个就是这个胡才这个意识呢不是那么太强，
Yes. Yes, I knew about it before I was detained. But when I was detained, I didn't think that this would happen to me. I don't have a strong awareness of, what would happen to me. Something about organ harvesting when I was detained.
Did she know of anybody else who had experiences in organ harvesting? Were they victims? Did she see people who disappeared from detention?
你知不知道你身边有任何人，或者是你有看到有任何的被关押的学员，有可能经历过活在器官的事情，比方说他们可能从劳教所消失了等等这样的事情。
No.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for making yourself available to the tribunal to give evidence. Your evidence is now concluded. Thank you.
非常感谢你来抽空参加中国法庭，你的证词现在都已经被列入记录，谢谢。
谢谢。
Mr. Sabi, there's now just one witness left.
谢谢。
That's correct, sir.
Dealing with things just form of reverse order. Thank you very much. What time should we start tomorrow? Same time, 12:30?
I guess for Professor Waldron, that's the only time that he can, this is the earliest time he can join us.
Been with us throughout.
Yes, sir.
12:30. Ladies and gentlemen, the next witness, just to make it quite clear, witnesses can properly be granted protection for a whole range of reasons. They can be granted protection for a whole range of reasons, either personal risk or risk to which their evidence might accidentally expose someone else. And we obviously don't go into the reasons for the risks, but there's very good reasons why the next witness should be afforded a measure of protection. However, I'm going to ask Mr. Sabi to summarize, before you leave us perhaps, what his evidence would amount to.
The witness has witnessed a very cruel extraction of organs from a young man, and while he was participating in a medical team, and the memory of that